Hello and welcome to Seton's Clutch. Supcom is my shepherd, I shall not want. It makes me to drop arty in green pastures. It leads me beside the still waters of Seton's Clutch. It restores my soul like restorers in the game. It leads me beside the path of understanding for the future. Yea, though I walk in the valley in deathly shadow, I will fear no stackers, for it is with me, my overcharge and my gun upgrade. They comfort me. My engineers prepare base for me in the presence of my enemies. It fills my eco with power, my mass runneth over. Surely goodness and mercies shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the Forge Alliance forever. So I think that's an appropriate introduction to this game. This is going to be a classic, 2011, still back on GPG.net. Looks like the hard drive's still on its way. The new hard drive for Forge Alliance Forever. So that's down temporarily, but hopefully after it's fixed, it will be all good. But this should be a good entertaining one. We got Affleck in the middle, back when Affleck was quite dominant. He's not a big fan, I guess, of Forge Alliance Forever. Yeah, it was a lot more hardcore back in the day. He's playing actually UEF in this one, taking on Syndicalist, who's playing a Seraphim. Looks like Sind is leading with an engineer, and we got good matchups all over this place. McFly versus Carlitos in One Ocean. Carlitos, Cybern versus Cybern. And we got Cybern for Tousney, Power Tows 3000, and he's taking on VIP, who's playing Seraphim. And in the air we got Berg versus Mice. That's a classic matchup. I think they faced each other a few hundred times for sure. Here you can see the build. This is a late 2011, so let's see how that works out. The builds for the back spot have always gone through evolution over the last 5-6 years. Quite different. Looks like a point defense plan for Sind. That could be a little strange. Looks like the engineer is going for the point defense, so a variation on a classic Mr. White build who used to get this point defense a little further up. The point defense here really doesn't protect too much. Of course, if you do go with a point defense build like this, you got to use your ACU very aggressively, push as far as you can, because if you can deny your enemy, the engineer, and get as much reclaim outside the range of the point defense, later on, first of all, you give your engineer more time to get that point defense up, and later on, all this mass belongs to you anyway. That's sort of what Syndicalist is doing. He also has some artillery coming in, and a tank. Point defense is finished for Sind, so let's see how Affleck deals it. We see that Tousney has taken the island, and now Carlitos here. A little late on the island, but it looks like McFly is not going to challenge. Actually, Affleck getting a mass extractor really quick. That's pretty crazy. Now, Affleck is going to find out that there is a point defense about to shoot him. But this is really the reason to get a point defense a little further up, because Affleck really, now he's going to get shot. But you can go in the water outside the range. You can see against point defense, the health drops very quickly. And you can see what are the numbers now. Affleck with about 6,000, Sind 8,600. So huge advantage for Sind here. He still has a couple chunks to reclaim. About 3,000 mass difference overall. No surprises on the islands yet. Berg, massive build capacity here. Now he's getting his air factory coming up minute 6. Getting scouted by Tousney. Tousney still no navy, but you know, build capacity is being planned. And actually very late navy here. The only player with a navy is McFly from the beach. Probably put some pressure on Carlitos. Carlitos, yeah, just getting his build capacity situated. So early on, not much, but we're seeing Affleck now getting an upgrade. Always nice to get help from an engie. Expect, yeah, Sind has just now started his, also getting help from an engineer. But you can see Affleck started quite a bit earlier, and that is a huge advantage in the middle. Whoever gets the upgrades first is really a huge advantage. And here, Affleck, a lot of times people choose to go Tech 2 Engineering and Gun. It gets you a lot of health, a lot of regeneration, but Affleck actually going with just the gun, and that's a really good thing to do if you want to be very aggressive. you do make yourself a little vulnerable, but that puts a lot of pressure on the enemy. And you can see Affleck has a lot more Tech 1 units. He's just taking out that point defense. Looks like he reclaimed it. And Affleck going on a big assault. You can see it's 6 land factories. Not too many for Sind. Looks like he got Tech 2 engineering and no gun. Might be at a bit of a disadvantage here against the gun from Affleck. As Affleck gets more and more veterancy, Sind could be in quite a bit of trouble. In this situation, it's just a full retreat and try to get some sort of defensive position. That was excellent overcharge. Affleck continues to roll in, but he's only got 8 factories, so he doesn't have that much more build capacity. But he has definitely pushed Sind off the middle. But with Tech 2, of course, Sind can get some Tech 2 point defenses, and I think at this point it's basically Affleck lost his chance to run Sind over. It would have been a very difficult thing to do, but now Sind will get the gun, and that's going to deny any advantage that Affleck may have had. Oh, and the Navy looks like some aggression from McFly sending in frigates, but those are easily countered here by Carlitos. Multiple factories already up, also getting some submarines and torpedo launchers. And the other ocean looks like a Tech 2 drop from VIP. We'll see where that goes, but it looks like Tech 2 air. And is that an NG drop? No, that's artillery. That's going to be very difficult to deny. Quite a bit of health, plus it can outrun Tech 1 interceptors. They will try to shoot it down. And it looks like it's going to go to the production. Not a very good placement on that drop, right next to a bunch of frigates. Frigates, of course, kill already very quickly. 1 frigate dies, so not the best placement. Perhaps it would have been better to scout out a little bit. And meanwhile, Sind getting hit by a Tech 1 force from Affleck. Of course, Affleck now with Tech 2 engineering of his own. He's going to get a Tech 2 point defenses in the middle. So looks like Affleck is happy with just taking over the middle, getting a couple extra mass extractors, denying perhaps 1 or 2 from Sind. Sind thinking about a wall. But both ACUs are the exact same tech. We're also seeing some Tech 2 land from Affleck. Saw some Tech 2 flak. So good strong play from Affleck. Not as aggressive as maybe we would like, but definitely has total control over the middle. And now some aggression from Tousney against VIP. Going in with a bunch of frigates, but of course VIP already ready. Some submarines and frigates of his own. Still, in this situation, if you can kill a lot of the build capacity of the enemy, you give your own factories a little better chance. If you can, even if you lose all your frigates here, but kill all these engineers, by the time the destroyers come in, the other player has been busy, and you can see that's exactly what is happening. Although these frigates, well, actually no, the frigates are no longer targeting the engineers. So that's a bit unfortunate. There's no reason to shoot the other frigates if you're Tousney. You're going to lose this for sure. Affleck with Tech 2 point defenses in the middle, and now we're going to see the standoff. Of course, you do have an advantage later on with the Tech 3 point defense. Seraphim do have an advantage with stronger shields. Multiple shields now going up for Affleck. And now perhaps an assault from McFly with a couple Tech 2 subs supported by a bunch of frigates. That's a nice combination, very good underwater. Plus you could take on a destroyer with this force. Looks like we now do see first Tech 2 from Carlitos. He's going to get some subs of his own. So interesting, both Cybernews players here thinking the same thing. Submarines, Tech 2 subs, and frigates. We also see a destroyer coming in from McFly. Looks like Affleck has decided to go on an assault with his Tech 1. He will lose. That was a great overcharge from Sind. Actually pushes Sind off of his defensive position. That's going to allow Affleck to get a good defensive position where he is. It looks like he's going Tech 3, so he's taking Tech 3 point defense. We also see some navies coming in from Tousney to the middle. Some destroyers that could definitely help Affleck with his effort. We also see Tech 2 land from Sind, some Ilshevas. A stealth field for Sind, and he's going to get shields. So he was pushed back slightly, but he's going to get a new defensive position. Now it looks like Berg here with a massive drop. 3 Tech 2 transports Let's see how successful these are. You gotta move those right away, and Berg doesn't make the mistake with one of them. The other one he does. So how quickly that got destroyed. There's also another transport. Excellent. You see also the scout, Berg scouting ahead of his transport. This will be a great position. He can take out at least 3 Tech 2 mass extractors. Looks like some Tech 2 torpedo bombers taken out by VIP. And here it is, a successful drop. Absolutely no defense against it. We should see Tasny switch to some gunships. Very good stuff from Berg. And Tech 3 point defenses for Aflac. And that's going to force Sint to retreat once again. And with enough Tech 3 point defenses, that's going to be very good against experimentals or anything else. So quite dominant from Aflac in the middle. We also see that McFly has rolled in with his Tech 2 Navy. It doesn't look like Carlito has enough to play defense here. A nice air support from Berg, however. A whole bunch of those transports make it home. Meanwhile, Aflac continues to push ahead. Well, I guess he's basically denied all this. It'd be nice to get some engineers to reclaim it. Carlitos with a counterattack. We see 2 destroyers for both sides, but a stealth boat for Carlitos is going to give a big advantage. You can see. Actually, it looks like Carlitos doesn't have power. Yeah, he had power problems. That's why the stealth boat was not working. Now it's beginning to work. You can see that there's shots coming out of nowhere. Stealth boat for McFly as well. So both players playing very similar. In the other ocean, Tech 2 Navy from VIP. So the advantage for Seraphim is really the Tech 3 submarines. We'll see if we'll see those. Tech 3 shields for Aflac. So Aflac really getting a very strong defensive position. It'll be hard to break it with the Navy. See, and I guess with this he can stop all production except Eco. His base is very exposed for drops unless Mice can take care of that problem. We see some drops coming in from Sind. And looks like McFly forced to retreat. More drops coming in from Berg. A whole bunch of Tech 2 bombers from Towsey. I'm not really sure what he's thinking, but we'll find out soon. Here coming up, minute 19. Yeah, we can see drops from both Berg and Sind coming around the side. Looks like they're gonna target McFly. McFly does have a bunch of Tech 1 here to defend with. And basically destroyer spam. No Tech 1 Navy for McFly being spam. Looks like now some of these have been spotted. Mai's coming in. He's gonna deny these. In the other ocean, we're seeing a Tech 3 upgrade to the factory. And actually these are destroyers, a couple destroyers here. And cruisers. This is definitely not a big enough force from Tasny to do much to VIP. But once VIP gets those submarines, he'll be in very good shape. You can see Berg here pulling back. And a drop onto water from since only one transport was lost. In that exchange, we see some Tech 2 bombers still wondering what to do. Berg now maybe teasing Mice here, just coming in over Tasny's air production. And this would be a great opportunity for VIP to come in with some bombers and kill all this. But it doesn't look like VIP has any of those, but he does have some Tech 3 submarines. Very long range on those torpedoes. While looks like Tasny's thinking about attacking Sind in the middle. Haven't looked at Aflac for a while. He's not going with Tech 3. He probably has. That doesn't look like he has Omni yet, but Omni in the middle, very nice. Actually, he's got an experimental. He's got Godzilla, a very quick experimental. Looks like he got an NG from Mice. And yeah, he did get help from Tasny, it seems. But a 22-minute GC is very quick. And that's going to put Sind in a whole bunch of trouble. We do have a big naval fight, but this is a lot of destroyers here from McFly. McFly going purely destroyers, and looks like he does have an advantage. Meanwhile, the Godzilla is rolling Sind over. Not the best game for Sind in this one. Sind in full retreat. Meanwhile, we're seeing VIP fighting this battle. He's got so many Tech 3 submarines. he should be able to take it, but it will be pretty close. Although now with torpedo bombers, Berg should clean those up. Submarines, of course, vulnerable to torpedo bombers. And we might see the air battle. Mize versus Berg. Mize with 122. Berg with 89. It's a significant advantage for Mize in terms of numbers. Godzilla with 16 kills going in VIP's direction. VIP looks like he has won the naval battle with his Tech 3 subs. Some cruisers coming in, but those are surely going to die. Of course, VIP's main problem is Godzilla. Berg preparing Mercies to kill the Godzilla. Each Mercy takes about 3,000 health, and Godzilla has 100,000, so you can do that math. You need about 30 to 40. If you come in with 40, you should be in good shape, but of course there's also flak. So if you want to be safe, Godzilla wary of that. It looks like he's going to lead with flak. It's a good micro there. And Tech 3 Navy. This is really bad for VIP. The Mercies from Berg. He's got to avoid this flak. Looks like a chicken has been built by VIP. I didn't notice that. And here, this is the wrong approach. This is where the positioning of the flak was so great from Godzilla, but of course some Mercies hit anyway, allowing this chicken from VIP to win. However, looks like Mize took that opportunity to win air. Yeah, well, Mize has total air control now. Meanwhile, it looks like McFly was pretty aggressive, but he's going to pay the price. So Carlitos is going to win Navy. There was a drop also. Carlitos did lose his island, but total air domination now. Looks like the chicken has died. It's hit by a bunch of torpedo bombers. I'll see Sind here under 2 shields. That's all he's got left. Actually, yeah, he did lose quite a bit. But Berg had to make so many Mercies that allowed Mize to get a big advantage in terms of air. Mize making strat bombers. Also a nuke from Mize here, minute 26. And the second you see Godzilla version 2.0 from Aflac. This is where it's really nice to see both players contributing. And Nuke looks like from Aflac as well, but he could be in a bit of trouble with a huge Navy from Carlitos. Carlitos is really one player who's done well, who has been successful. I think can't really fault VIP in this one. You can see Sind riding Fuck, which is pretty accurate. Godzilla 2.0 is going to end VIP's life here, it seems. I think any game that allows you to do something like this. And then here you see Berg is going to agree. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh with this new mic. And so people ask why I never show any emotion, because this mic's gonna suck if I do. See, multiple nukes are gonna fly, it seems, in this game here, coming up minute 28. That's a lot of destroyers. You can see 3 Tech 2 factories from McFly, so it's straight up destroyer spam. And it's gonna be hard to break that. Whole bunch of Tech 2 bombers from Tasney. So yeah, Berg, and then yes, you did. That's nice. We do see GC now from Berg. Gonna try to take on Godzilla 2.0. VIP hiding in the water. See a secret navy here planned by VIP, but that was found out. That's not gonna happen. Strat bombers attacking VIP's base. He's got a whole bunch of Tech 3 mask extractors, but that won't last. We might see an air fight here. Berg is gonna run. See, Berg can take air back. There is a bunch of flak from here, which might give him a slight advantage. Meanwhile, this battle here between McFly and Carlitos has been very even this whole game. We can see now an air spam from Carlitos. If there's any hope, really, Carlitos has to do something. But we should anticipate these nukes to be launched quite soon, both from Affleck and from Mize. Looks like Affleck's nuke is going to be a little quicker. Gonzilla, 65 kills, is going to get hit. Sin gets killed. And looks like the units are going to be given to Berg, including all the walls. This is nice. This is a really good thing that Aeon have against experimentals when they just start fighting like this, where they're standing still. Because if you start moving it, it usually starts attacking something besides experimental. Very vulnerable against Tech 1 Arty. People should not neglect Tech 1 Arty in experimental fights. Mize dominating air now above Carlitos' base. And looks like somebody has just left the game, not through the score screen. So we get this nice detected message. But this game should be over very quickly here. Berg here actually looks like he was hit a few times by something. Really, I just want to see the nukes. The nuke is almost finished for Affleck. A whole bunch of strike bombers en route from Mize. And another nuke planned for Mize. But nice to see that Carlitos still fighting very strong, even with all this air advantage from the bottom side. It doesn't look like McFly is really trying to use that. He does have some Tech 2 bombers, but not massive Tech 2 bombers. Here comes the nuke from Affleck. Berg throws in the towel as soon as he hears that. And Carlitos, the last man standing, getting the spider in the water. And you can see this nuke is going to fly toward Berg. It's a nice splash. That's probably a lot of kills. 258 kills. See all this air coming in from Mize. Carlitos does not want to come out of the water. Expecting it. Now we see torpedo bombers coming in. Mize really long time to build that nuke. Really good anti-air as well, so planes don't get to fly over his base for too long. And he hasn't lost Navy. And here we see ASF versus some artillery. You can see a whole bunch of arty here. This is nice. And here come the torpedo bombers from Mize. Should be game over unless they drop their torpedoes on the rocks. Should be very unfortunate. Yeah, now we see it looks like they didn't. At least some of them didn't. And here at minute 34, Carlitos still hasn't died. So 34-minute game. Hopefully people enjoyed this one.